Hello, it's Lesley Fightmaster. Today's class, it's just a quick class when you feel like you just don't have a lot of time to practice. So you can hopefully fit in this short practice. So I want to make sure your pelvis is neutral so your hips aren't going too far back or too far forward as you stand at the front of your mat. And then lifting your belly. And drop your tailbone down and open the chest and draw the shoulder blades down. On an inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, hinge from your hips and fold forward. As you can bend the knees as needed. On your inhale, make a nice flat back. And as you exhale, fold forward again. And bend the knees if you need a little bend. Inhale, come all the way up with a nice flat back. And exhale, hands to your heart, samastitihi. Inhale again, the arms reach up. Soften through the shoulder blades a little bit. Exhale and fold. Reach the crown of the head toward the floor. Inhale, make a nice flat back. Exhale and step back into plank, top of a push-up. Feel free to put your knees down here. You can stay down or up. Shift forward about an inch, lower to your belly on your exhale. On your inhale, little cobra, peel your chest up, draw your shoulder blades towards your waist slightly, tailbone to heels. Exhale, press up to the knees and back into down dog. Or you can keep the knees off the floor for a little more work. So in this down dog, let's take the legs as wide as the mat and then stretch back so you can get a little more length through your spine without the hamstrings getting in the way of it. And then we'll take the feet back together and look forward, step your feet up, inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold. Press through the feet, rise up on the inhale, exhale, hands to heart. And again, inhale, reaching up, exhale, hinge from your hips to fold. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, and come to plank. Lift your belly, lower down. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, and stretch back into downward facing dog. So your arms shoulder distance and the feet hips width. Make sure you're spreading the fingers nice and wide. And your wrist creases are parallel with the front of your mat. Look up. Bend the knees, step or hop your feet. Take an inhale for flat back. Exhale to fold in. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, samastitihi. Inhale again to reach. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, step or float, chaturanga. Shoulders no lower than elbows. Inhale, widen through the collarbones. And exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Right leg up, inhale, and we'll open up the hips. So bend the knee and take the right foot over toward the left side of the mat. And then we'll step it through right between the hands. On your inhale, come right into warrior two. Make sure your right knee is over your ankle and you're opening the chest. Reverse your warrior, left arm down lightly on the thigh. Stretch the side of your body. Keep stretching the side, straighten the front leg on your inhale. And then arms to a T, shift your hips back, leaning forward for Trikonasana Pose. So your right hand will come down wherever it's comfortable, the shin or the floor, or a block if you have one. Line up your shoulders, lift your belly, moving your front hip under you. On your inhale, take a little bend in your front knee and step back through chaturanga. Inhaling to up dog, or always cobra is your choice. Exhaling to down dog. Left leg up, inhale, bend the knee, opening up through the hip. So stretching open your left hip a little bit. Press evenly through the arms. Looking forward, lightly step it up. Spin your back heel flat. Into warrior two. Make sure your knee is over your ankle and right in line with your second toe, that left knee. Press your back thigh straight back, just like in Tadasana. Lift your chest. Soften through your shoulder blades. And steady breathing. And reverse. Right hand lightly on the back leg, get a nice side stretch, and then straighten the front leg for reverse triangle pose. Inhale to come up. We'll shift the hips back and lean. So you're leaning from your front hip crease. Get nice and long through your spine. Left hand can come down wherever it reaches. You don't have to go really deep. What's more important is trying to get your torso right over your thigh. So you don't want to be leaning forward in this. If anything, this is if you were lightly leaning toward a wall behind you. Look forward and lower down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, stretching back into down dog. And we'll lift the right leg up again. This time, exhale, step it through right between the hands. Keeping your left fingertips on the floor, reach up through the right arm. If you can't reach the floor, you can always use a yoga block underneath your left hand. And then keeping the arms in the same position, come on up into Crescent Pose. So you're reaching through the arms and making a little twist. Then bend your left elbow, make a fist with your left hand, excuse me, and wrap it with your right hand. So making a nice twist, and twisting is so nice for the spine. So let's release that one. And through a Vinyasa. You can always skip the Vinyasa and go right into down dog also. Inhale the left leg up, and exhale, step it through right next to the left hand. And I'm going to reach up, left arm up, right fingertips on the floor. So you got your little twist going. So you're pulling the left hip back to try to keep the hips level. And then keeping the arms extended, and we'll reach out and standing twist in Crescent Pose. Just keep widening across the collarbones, and then lean forward to get a little space. And either make a fist with the right hand, wrap it with the left, or you can take a prayer twist here, pressing the palms either way. Work through the back leg, make sure your front knee's over the ankle, and we'll release it. Lower down all the way to the floor. On your inhale, coming into Shalabhasana Pose, a little back bend. So exhale and lower down. So in Shalabhasana, make sure you keep your low belly lifted. So taking again, this time clasp the hands, lift up, open the chest, inner thighs spin up, belly's pulled in, and then we'll lower down on the exhale. And hands next to the rib cage, inhaling up, and exhale. Back into downward dog, look to the hands, and step or hop through to sit. Do a little bit of core work, so sitting up nice and tall, shift your weight back so you can continue to hold on behind the knees, or keep the knees bent and let go, or straighten them. If the legs are straight though, be sure that your back isn't rounding. Lift your belly a lot and firm your legs. Good. And release that. And then now knees together, lift just your right leg off the floor. Try to keep the knees in line. If it's too much, you can always bend the knee. It looks easier, but it's actually kind of difficult. Switch legs. Left leg is up. Lift the chest. Try not to round the back at all. Steady breathing, and we'll release that and slowly lower all the way down onto your back. And then bring your heels underneath your knees. On your inhale, we'll lift into bridge and bend your elbows. Point your fingertips up toward the ceiling. Roll the shoulder blades toward each other. Keep the belly lifted and lengthen the tailbone to the backs of the knees. And lower down on your exhale. Just let your knees knock into each other. And then take the legs parallel again. Come on up. Make sure the outer edges of your feet stay parallel. You can clasp the hands behind you, or if you like that, same thing with the elbows bent, you can do that. Keep the chin away from the chest. Lower down, exhaling, knees knock in toward each other. And do the same thing, or take your feet back to parallel. If you want a full wheel pose, make sure your elbows are parallel as well, and press up. Only if that's what you'd like to do today. Press your chest toward the wall that your eyes can see, and reach your tailbone to the backs of the knees. Chin to chest to come on down. And then hug your knees in, Apanasana. It's a little nice counter pose for a back bend. And rocking side to side gives your low back a little massage. And then we'll start to rock back and forth all the way up. And pull your toes back. Sit up really tall. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, and hinge forward from the hips. Reach your feet or your legs, or if you have a yoga strap, you can use that. But keep your spine long. Good. So if you can touch your belly to your thighs, then you can extend a little bit more forward so your back will round slightly. Otherwise, if the belly doesn't touch, keep the spine nice and long. Inhale, sitting up. Exhale, release. For thread the needle, bring your right ankle just above your left knee. Bring your hands through and hold on to your left shin, or you can hold behind the thigh. Make sure you're flexing your right ankle. And stretch out your hip. And then we'll cross right knee over left. Take the legs to the left side and turn to look over your right shoulder for a nice simple twist. So just a short practice like this, maybe in the morning or in the evening, whenever you have time. Let's switch legs. Left ankle above right knee, thread the needle. So this little practice will just start to get your heart rate up a little bit, get your blood going, and especially with your focus on your breath, it helps to increase your prana, or your energy. Left knee over right, take the knees off to the side. If it's a little too much to cross the knees, you can always just put one leg on top of the other. And then let's come back to center and draw your knees in. And we're going to take a short shavasana today. So extend the legs out, let your feet flop open, arms by your sides with your palms up. And draw your shoulder blades toward your waist slightly. And then just really relax here. Let everything be nice and heavy. And while you're here, our quote for today is from Rumi, the Sufi poet. You were born with potential. You were born with goodness and trust. You were born with ideals and dreams. You were born with greatness. You were born with wings. You are not meant for crawling, so don't. You have wings. Learn to use them and fly. Take a few longer breaths as you start to make movements in your fingers and toes. Roll yourself off to the right side, and then carefully press yourself up to seated. Crossing at the shin, sitting up tall, hands together. Let's bring the hands to the forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And the hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communications. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and like and comment if there's something you'd like to see. Please leave it in the comments below. If you're interested in our ladies retreat to Cancun, send me a message or comment below, or for teacher training. Please donate if you can. Have a wonderful day.